Although it is the middle of summer, we're at a really high altitude and this water is freezing cold. Whew. Good morning everyone, back with another episode of Stuff and Things. I've spent the past 2 days here right around this location in Colorado. Where we left off from the last video, I finally made it to this BLM land. Right here is Mount Blanc behind me, and I've parked the van all over this BLM area over the past like 48 hours now. Right here was the camp spot from last night. We actually had some pretty gnarly storms roll in like from the west. They came over the side of the mountain here and it was like a sandstorm over here. Luckily the weather today is beautiful. The weekend warriors have sort of cleared out of this area, so it's much more tame, relaxed, and quiet compared to how it was when I showed up the other day. Now this is really what the van was designed for, built for. I'm here off-grid. I have electricity thanks to the solar panels on the roof. I still have a ton of water. I was able to shower last night. I even cooked some tacos, so we had a taco night in the van. And we're really just slowly starting to scratch the surface of what this thing is capable of. And it's going to be even more capable in the future. I'm excited to bring you guys a video on that stuff. Now, one of the main reasons for me wanting to stop here is because we are very close to the Great Sand Dunes National Park, and I actually visited there yesterday. It's about 15 minutes that way, and it was a really cool experience. I was going from the White Sands in New Mexico up to the Great Sand Dunes up here, and they are drastically different places. So that was about a 3-mile hike along the ridges of the dunes all the way up to the top. Loose sand. Wasn't the easiest hike ever, and it was really hot. The sand was like 150 degrees, but it was absolutely worth it. Now, although I am enjoying my time here on the BLM land, I think I'm actually going to do one more hike, which is just about 10 minutes up the road. And then I think I'm going to head north up into the Colorado Springs area. That is about where the start of my whole friend group lives. I got a ton of friends up in the area, and you will see them throughout the next couple of videos if I had to guess. So let's see if we can get out of here without shaking the van up too much. So this is actually part of the hike right here. You have to wade up through a little bit of a creek here, and I believe the falls are around the corner. Although it is the middle of summer, we're at a really high altitude and this water is freezing cold. Whew. Oh, my toes are numb now. Alright, so that was Zapata Falls, or however you say it. Nice, easy hike, definitely recommend it. The road getting in though was far worse than the actual hike. Alright, quick story time. I wasn't going to film this, but something interesting happened. So when I got back from the parking lot, I noticed that on the front of my van, I'm missing one of my worn tow hooks. So I checked back through the video and it looks like I had it when I was still camping last night. Worst case scenario, maybe someone was an and came up and stole one off of the van for some reason. Can't imagine why anyone would want one of those things. But anyway, I'm about a quarter of the way back down this trail, and I figured maybe because it was so rocky and shaking that it just sort of loosened up. So I'm like scanning the road as I'm driving down. I have yet to find the tow hook, but I did find a phone. Looks like it's a OnePlus. Now I can't tell what carrier this person has, but they don't have reception where we're at right now. I do. The phone is locked and I can't find a way to unlock it as of right now. So I guess I'm just gonna bring it with me. It was lying on the ground. Luckily it's not broken. I'm gonna take it with me on my travels today, and hopefully the phone will get reception at some point and maybe a call will come in, or maybe I will find a way to send a call, and hopefully we can return this thing to its owner, because I don't know about you guys, but if I lost my phone, I'd be very upset. I do a lot of work from my phone, and without it, I would need to replace it immediately. So let's hope we can find the owner. Yo! Yes, dude. Found the shackle. Woo! Hey, what's up everyone? It's a new day for me, obviously not for you. I have an update on the phone though. Yesterday I was like so focused on getting this phone back to the guy it belongs to. I don't know why, it's just because I feel like being a good person, I guess. And I was finally able to get a hold of him last night. So I drove all the way up to Colorado Springs, where I'm at right now. I'm currently actually sitting in the middle of the Garden of the Gods, which you guys will see in a second. It's awesome up here. And I just kept peeping this guy's notifications because it's completely locked out. The fingerprint can't get in it that way. It has a pin on it, which is basically locked out at this point. And he's been getting notifications and notifications, and finally a notification popped up for Google Photos. And if you have an Android phone or you're familiar with it, you get a remember this day notification every once in a while. So it's actually Google like sharing memories that you took either on this day 2 years ago or whatever it may be. Luckily, when it popped that up, it showed an email, and I took that email, put it into Facebook, found the guy that this belongs to, messaged his wife. Nothing came of it, and then at about 6 p.m. last night, the phone went off. I was able to answer it, and it was a guy named Jack. I'm like, hello. Hello. The dude butt dialed this phone, and I like wasn't able to get a hold of him. Luckily though, his phone number showed up right underneath his name. So I took my cell phone, typed in this guy's phone number, and I called him from my phone. Went straight to voicemail. Here, his phone died. So I sat there for another like hour, didn't know what to do. I kept texting this guy and calling him, seeing if his phone would come back to life. Finally, at about like 8:30 at night, the guy calls me. Hello. I'm like, hey man. He goes, you have Michael's phone. I was like, yes, I have this phone. I want to get it back to you, or back to him. I told him that I would explain the whole story about how I found it and this and that once I meet up with them. I'm about 3 hours from where I actually found this phone. I'm north of there, found it down near the dunes obviously. And now I'm all the way up in Colorado Springs. Luckily, him and the guy whose phone this belongs to, they're actually traveling up towards Denver today. So I'm charging this guy's phone, making sure it has a full battery when I get it back to him so he can answer all his notifications. And I'm pretty stoked that I'll be able to return this to that guy. Hopefully he appreciates it. I don't know. He's not even from America. He's from the UK, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, I'm here at Garden of the Gods. Let's hop out and scope this place out for a second. See, it's places like this that make me want to move to Colorado. I could very easily do it, or just live in the van here for a while, which I'm also probably going to do. Alright guys, so that was Garden of the Gods, and then my friend Eric came out, met up with me, and we went to Memorial Skate Park. They had that crazy vert ramp. That was a lot of fun. I just wish I was better at skating, because I can't really do anything.
How was that 5-mile hike in flip-flops? We legit
hiked like 5 miles this morning around Garden of the Gods, and I was wearing flip-flops and you were wearing what? Birks. Now we're gonna go grab a drink and wait until this guy comes to claim his phone. He's coming up from the Great Sand Dunes area, and hopefully he can find us here in Colorado Springs.
2 hours later.
This is like the college days, bro. Walking down a gross alley with like dumpsters and everywhere.
Dipping in, drinking cheap whiskey, getting up.
Alright guys, so unfortunately I didn't film me actually returning the phone to that guy. He didn't really seem to care, which, dude, I would have been stoked. If I lost my phone for like 2 days.
For 2 days straight.
Yeah. And I gave him his phone back. He's like, all right, thanks, man. He was just like walking away. His friend like wanted to talk to me. And I was like, you guys can come in and have a drink if you want. And the guy who lost his phone was like, I lost my wallet too. How do you lose your phone and your wallet? Bad day, bro. So we're about to go explore Colorado Springs. I'm gonna be here for the next like 3 weeks or so in the area, Denver, Colorado Springs. So if you're new to the channel, consider clicking subscribe. I make new videos every single week. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.